Alright, hello there, welcome back to another wee bit of a video. Today's video, we have a Baldur's Gate 3 Reddit discussion, and I love this question. Things commonly missed in Act 1. What are some things that people would commonly miss in Act 1 or shouldn't walk past at all? So, when you play this game, there's a lot of things that you're gonna miss, especially in Act 2 and especially Act 3. But for beginner players, obviously Act 1's the first act, so they missed way more than they probably would like to. So we're going to be looking at people's discussions. So we're going to be looking at people's comments, seeing what you might have missed, what I might have missed. And all in all, I think that we're going to find some amazing stuff here, because this game has so much unpacked content that a lot of people miss out on. Okay, top comment we have here is Shadow Druid's message, Fish People, Bernard's hug. So we're going to briefly look at all of these. So spoilers ahead, of course, if you haven't seen this. But I think it's pretty important because it's pretty funny, and again, all of these are relatively hidden. Okay, so shout out to Games Pillar here. First things first, you got to get to the Arcane Tower. If you're not familiar with where that is, it is in the Underdark, and to get this guy to be friendly, you actually have to read some books, and it can be very easy to miss because when you see this guy, typically he's hostile or all the time he's hostile unless you read those books. And basically it's the books of a lady who used to be there. There's actually a little bit of a story behind it, which is a really sad story, but this robot can be a friendly. He can give you a hug, and if you do this quest, you get a ring that allows you to have the cantrip light, and you can cast it an unlimited amount of times. So all in all, it's a really sad story. Shout out to Lore Spire for this video, but basically this is also in the Underdark. It is by where is it by? The Arcane Tower. Actually, they're actually very close to each other, but once you get to this hidden place, there's going to be fish people there, and you can be their fish god under the right dialogue. But let's skip it a little bit. So right here, these are the fish people. In my playthrough, my cousin became the fish god. He didn't feel very accomplished, but it's just a nice sequence, if you ask me. I think it's pretty cool.
You will be an offering for the great god Boal. Not real.
You sense a flicker of doubt, brief but enough. For an instant, the godly presence falters.
And yeah, you find out that their fish god is not really their god. It's more bogus. And yeah, if you want to see more on that, feel free to head to Gamer Pillar in this video. You can kind of see that, or you can do it for yourself. All in all, really cool. And last but not least, we're going to get to the Shadow Druids. So first and foremost, how to even start this quest is you have to find the hidden chest where you have to read a note, and in that note, immediately after you get out of it, it'll say investigate Kaga, and you have to go to around Auntie Ethel's region, that side of the map, where you further investigate. As you investigate, you have to fight some enemies, and once you do that, you have to find an item in particular, I believe. So once all these enemies are defeated, loot the nearby chest for some thieves' tools and a nice pair of magic gloves called the Sparkle Hands. Walk over to the trunk where the wood we're standing when you've done getting close enough to touch it. Once close enough and in position, your character will mark that they spy something strange in the trunk. This will reveal a wooden crevice. Investigate the crevice to find a letter to Kaga incriminating her with the Shadow Druids. Then you will confront her, and it's going to lead to some pretty gnarly shit. So I recommend you guys go ahead and just do this if you haven't done it before. I would show you a video, but it is honestly fun if you just do it yourselves. So have fun with that. Really small one I missed until recently. The bear down a slope from the idol Sylvanus that missed Haslin. There's a rock that has an amulet underneath. So hidden detail for anyone that's in the Druid Grove. Next up, in the same comment, the cliffs next to the crashed Nautiloid to avoid the fight with the Intellect Devourers. So apparently you can avoid the fight. I did not know that. But I don't see why you would. You can just claim some quick XP, unless you don't really care. The ring that Mold gives you for getting her the idol. yeah, it's Ring of Protection. I think it gives you +1 to armor class and what was it? Ring of Protection. Let's just check this real quick. So yeah, it gives you +1 to armor class, +1 to saving throw. Pretty solid, especially early on in Act 1. All you have to do is steal the idol. How to steal it, you're probably gonna want to look up a tutorial because I failed like 3 or 4 times already, and I failed once in honor mode, and I got our camp killed. I guess it wasn't our camp, but I got the tieflings killed basically. So just be careful and make sure you look up a tutorial if you're not familiar with how to do that. Next up, don't know if there was an update or glitch, but Will now mentions his horns and scars instead of a forked tongue and eggs. No idea what he's talking about there, but maybe some of you know. And then, last but not least in this comment, there's a third way to trigger Karlach and Will meeting. The first being recruiting Will first and taking him to Karlach. The second being recruiting Karlach and Will visiting in the middle of the night. But if you recruit Will, then leave him at camp, then recruit Karlach and long rest, it plays out differently. Will is snarkier towards Karlach since we're all chilling at camp. So if you haven't done that, maybe look up the YouTube dialogue. Honestly, I'm not too interested in that in particular. Next up, getting the spider sack at the top of the hill in the center of the map. This doesn't lead to anything crazy, to be honest with you. I think you end up just getting a spider sack where you can summon spiders one time, similar to the horns of the goblins. So this one's not too crazy, but kind of a nice detail. Fish tribe we already covered. Underdark path through Ethel's house, which is, personally, if you're in honor mode, I highly recommend you don't do Ethel's before you do the Underdark. I think the Underdark is easier than Auntie. Auntie can definitely end your run if you play your cards wrong. But for whatever reason, if you're not in honor mode, or if you're not in tactician or anything like that, or really if you don't really care too much, go ahead and go to Auntie Ethel's house. And then as you're going to save Marina, where there's those poisonous traps, there is a hidden area where you can go through, but you have to have a mask that you picked up at Auntie Ethel's place, and you walk through that door, teleports you straight to the Underdark. It's kind of cool, but it's not really all too crazy. Next up here, we have Smuggler's Ring. +2 to sleight of hand, +2 to stealth. So this looks like a rogue masterpiece here. -1 charisma, so not good if you're trying to talk, but extremely good ring for rogues, Gloomstalkers, and Shadow Monks. It stayed on Asterion all game for me. It's on a skeleton in a bush on the river near Karlach that doesn't get highlighted by holding Alt. So that is a really, really rare thing to see. But let's take a quick look at this ring if we can. So that's what it would look like. But yeah, the location seems to be really weird. So yeah, it's around here and it's not highlighted. So interesting comment right here. I feel like a lot of people don't experience the Helm's Deep-esque battle of defending the Grove and instead end up killing the 3 goblin leaders alternative. So yeah, if you do not under any circumstance kill the goblin leaders there and you tell Minthara to go, fight the druids at the camp, you can actually meet the druids at the camp. And once the Minthara's crew shows up, you can decide who you want to team up with. If you want to team up with the druids, then and there, you just tell Minthara basically, I'm siding with these guys. If you side with Minthara, you can just say, hey, I'm siding with you. And then a big battle ensues at the gate of the druid area. So if you want to do that wild shit, to be honest, it's kind of cool. But if you would like to avoid a big battle like that and just kill off the leaders one by one, that might be easier. Okay, interesting comment here. The Necromancer's lab beneath the apothecary in the goblin camp. Specifically, once you go through the mirror, you can read his journal and learn why he escaped and what his motivations were. Necromancer's lab.
We start out exploring the Necromancer's hidden laboratory and find a very
so this is where you get the Necromancer today. Okay, never mind. I know where that is. If you're not familiar with that, if that looked a little confusing to you, yeah, you can go to the goblin camp and you can go into a hatch somewhere in that village. I think you have to turn left immediately on entrance, and once you go into that hatch, you just have to hit a hidden lever, go behind the book shelf, and you'll see a mirror where you have to answer correct dialogue. And once you do that, you can find the book of Thay after doing some lock picking or just hitting the doors if you're strong enough. But Necromancy is pretty cool. It allows you to speak with the dead ultimately, and then in Act 3 you get another ability. If we keep reading the comment though, there's some interesting lore behind it. Apparently there's someone he was desperate to bring back, and he tried everything, including True Resurrection, a 9th level necromancy spell. For those who don't know, the only way this spell fails is if the target's soul didn't want to return for some reason. So this guy has been driving himself insane, putting his life at risk to bring someone back who'd rather stay dead. For a character we never met. That really hit home for me. So yeah, just like the Arcane Tower and reading the girl's story, there's definitely some lore that not a lot of people talk about, and it's pretty fucking sad. Like, just being honest. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone. I'm getting a message from the people I played Baldur's Gate 3 with, my cousins. Probably want to play now, to be honest. I might just start playing soon, so we should probably somewhat finish up the video. But now, let's go a little bit longer and see how this goes. I feel like this is well known, but yes, you can steal from Withers, and he will not be mad at you. So if you spend money on reclassing or respecking, continue to do that, and you can just get your money back. If you need to revive your ally, let's say he's at 1 HP in honor mode, just kill him, and then have yourself revive him, full spell slots back, full HP back, at no cost to you, because you can just steal your money back from Withers. Okay, so I did not know this one. I found out literally today that you can combine Edwin's Broken Spear with the Spearhead from the Owlbear to make an uncommon spear that can blind enemies. That's pretty badass. Similarly, there is a very rare staff like that in the Underdark, but it's split into 3 parts. So, first of all, I know what he's talking about with the Ice Staff BG3, Baldur's Gate 3. Let's quickly show it to you guys. This staff right here, Morning Frost. My face might be in the way, so let's zoom out a little bit. So this staff right here, Morning Frost, 3 to 13 damage. It allows 1d4 cold damage, and when dealing cold damage, the wielder deals an additional 1 cold damage. Dealing cold damage with the spell possibly inflicts chilled upon the target, and you get the cantrip Ray of Frost. So it's actually pretty solid if you're trying to go for some kind of cold build. But to even get this weapon, you have to craft it. How to craft it is you get 3 parts in the Underdark. You'll know because they're ice looking, and you get 1 from around the Susubark area. You get 1 from those petrified people, those people turned in stone, and then you have to kill that one-eyed bald dude. And the other one, where the fuck do you get that one? Where do you get that one? Oh, the other one you get it once you help the people, the like weird looking people that use the music. Once you complete one of their quests, they open a door for you that's locked, and in there you find another part. It's how to create the Ice Staff, but also the Owlbear Spearhead from the Owlbear. Yeah, I've never seen that. I guess we can just quickly look it up. Okay, so you get Vision of the Absolute. The tip of the spear, covered with horrifying barbs, strikes unerringly towards its target's eyes. Two-handed, dippable, can't dual wield, range 1.5 meters. You get Rush, and I want to see the weapon itself though. Can we see the weapon itself? No, it's not showing the weapon, but if you explored the Owlbear Cave and spoke to the dying man on the hill, aka True Soul Edwin, looted both, right-click to combine these 2 parts, and voila. And then Club of Hill Giant Strength, Hag's Hair, Steel Raphael Armor. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What? Okay. Did not know that was a thing. Steel Astral Silver Sword. Save Alfira as a dirge. What? What the fuck? Shadow Druid quest, Perma Shovel Pet. What? You can use Glut to revive and control Bullet. Bullet being the worm. Yeah, we knew that. Or I knew that. Me and my cousins actually just did that. You can use Noble Stock Mushroom on Shadowheart Dirge to recover some memories. That's fucking interesting. I'm gonna have to tell my cousin that. He's playing with the Dirge right now. You can save Marina Brothers. Marina. What the fuck does that sound familiar? Marina. BG3. Okay. Okay, you can save her brothers. They die? I know they're looking for her. Okay, whoa, there's a lot going on here. First and foremost, steal Raphael armor. What the hell? Let's we gotta do this shit. We gotta see what's going on. What the hell? Boom, let's watch this video.
Hello
briefly.
Guys. In today's video, I'm going to show you
Shout
the
out to
way
Game
to get one of the most
Gamotalk.
powerful and legendary Hell Dusk armor in very early game, which you usually get by defeating Raphael. You can get it as early as level 3, which is quite fascinating. I do not want to talk much about the features of this armor because by this time most of you already know how good it is. Still, if you want, you can get a summary from here. Now let me show you the process to get it early. Our first focus is to make Raphael spawn for the introductory cutscene. For this thing to happen, you need to talk to the healer Nettie in Emerald Grove. No matter what outcome you get, just finish your interaction with Nettie. Once it is done, I'll wait for her to leave the room so that I can steal the Mind Flayer parasite specimen from the stable.
Step at a time, Nettie. Come on.
Why
I'm
then?
familiar.
Never tried it, and I hope to keep it that way.
Better a quick draft than Ceramorphosis, nonetheless.
Better than becoming a mind flayer, in case things start to go very wrong.
Our first part is done. Now Raphael will spawn in a certain location. As far as I know, he spawns in 3 specific locations. In Emerald Grove near Alfira's place, in a cliff outside of Emerald Grove, and near the broken bridge close to Blighted Village. In my case, he always spawns near the cliff. Let's get there. Just follow my path. Once the cutscene triggers, just switch to your secondary character and attack Raphael.
Attack him. What? What?
Once you have attacked him, he will get vanished from this location. Now you'll need to try to go to the mountain pass. Choose any way you like to get to mountain pass. I'm choosing the path near to the goblin camp.
What? This is so random.
That's curious.
However, it will show you a warning message which we're not gonna care about. Once you try to go there, you'll be teleported to your camp where Raphael will be waiting there to talk to you. Now make some arrangements so that he remains unable to talk. For doing this, cast silence on the area. I'm using Shadowheart to do the favor.
What?
Now we are all set. Pick any of your character to begin the party. An important note here, you have to toggle non-lethal attack from the passive menu. Then go to the silenced area and start hitting him.
What?
Stay doing this until he is knocked down. Be patient, it takes some time. In my
What?
case, it took around 8 minutes.
You are unable to speak. You are unable to speak.
Once he is knocked out, loot his body and the finest armor is all yours. So guys, that was the video for today. If you have liked this video, please
Well, I did not. What? That's fucking crazy, dude. Getting that armor in Act 1. Steal Astral Civil Sword. Man, there's so much. Oh, God. How long have I been recording? I've been recording. What is it? I've been recording for a while now. Okay. Well, to all of these that look interesting to you, feel free to look them up. To this discussion that I fully didn't go through, feel free to go to it. Things commonly missed in Act 1 on the subreddit Baldur's Gate 3. There is knowledge here that is really fucking cool. That I'm a bit amazed at some of the shit that this community figures out. But like I said, feel free to get on the subreddit and just quickly look through this discussion to see something that I missed that I didn't have time to go through. We looked at a lot of stuff though. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed learning that last one especially. Shout out to the video, to the people that post those videos to help find those answers or things that we're wondering. But as always, I appreciate you guys for watching. Catch you guys next time. This is All We've Been Different. And we out.